And what I mean by that is when I go back to Africa next year and go deep into the diamond fields again, go head to head against these corrupt charities, when we start a revolution against corrupt charities, right? And I am going to be jailed again, of course. That's a standard thing. They're going to put me back in maximum security prisons in Africa, dangerous prisons right across Africa, in different African countries, third world countries, where I will suffer. Of course, I know that's going to come, because when you expose corrupt charities and bring them down, they target you, they try to kill you. That's what they do. I had a couple of attempts on my life in Africa last year. I had a couple of attempts this year outside of there as well, but we keep it fucking moving. And that's it, because I'm not due to die anytime soon, guys. I can assure that to you. I'm far too fucking handsome for that. Do you know what I mean? And also, I've got far too much to achieve. And I've got 2 beautiful daughters that have just been born. So I need to make sure that my daughters know that when they get older, that the dad achieved everything that he wanted to do, or he tried to. So when I push the TPR movement against corrupt charities, and we start bringing them down, and we start a true revolution against corrupt charities, never seen before in history, when that happens, whether I live or die during that time as the years pass on, when my daughters get older, whether I'm alive or not, they will always sit there and they know that their dad achieved what he could, and that's it. Well, why go back to Africa? Because I'll tell you why. Because I'm not just a little fucking pansy loser that's not going to do what he wants to do. For me, going back to Africa is something that I'm destined for. What? Look, well, why go back to Africa? Well, why not? That's what I'm destined for. Do you think I want to sit at home all day with my fucking kids doing nothing? Just sitting there all the fucking day? Absolutely not. I'm not fucking sitting around all fucking day doing nothing. Oh yeah, I'm at home with my family. Oh yeah. No, that's not what I'm made for. As much as that'd be lovely to do, to just be able to chill out all fucking day, but it's not what I'm destined for. I'm just not destined for that. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Some people love to do that, and that's fine. That is fine. I've got respect for you. Every single person that wants to sit around all day looking after their kids, if it's making your kids happy, so fucking be it. Do you know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? But that's not what I'm destined for. I've had my kids. My daughters have just been born. My son's there. My twin daughters. But I'm not destined to sit around all day, every day, doing nothing. I'm destined for Africa, but until then, the universe allowed me to sit around for a fucking year doing nothing. Besides set on a few businesses, yeah, but I've been here 4 months now. Well, I've been out of hospital 4 months. So it's not even, I won't even be in England a year. I'll be in England. I'll come back to England August. I'll be leaving in the 15th of June. So I've got a few months to get myself strong, better, mentally, physically, emotionally, because you've got to understand what I've been through. It can have a big, massive impact internally, right, in what you go through, especially you've had attempts on your life countless times this year and last year, and jailed in African prisons. You've got to be able to adjust. So I've got like a few months to educate myself on revolutions. Big up Sarah putting that thing up for you guys to get your armies in. So when you said, why do I want to go to Africa? Because I don't want to live until an old age knowing, do you really think, do you know what my nightmare would be? My nightmare would be living till I was 80 years old at home, sitting there thinking, or speaking to me kids going, do you know what I could have done one day? I could have, if I would have went to Africa, I could have started a revolution and brought down corrupt charities. It was something that no one believed I could ever do, but I didn't do it because I decided to stay at home all day. What? Do you really think I would live till an 80-year-old man with that mentality? No. Even people close to me say, Sam, they're going to kill you. They're going to try and kill you. If you start trying to bring down these corrupt charities again in Africa, they will kill you. Yeah, you're probably right. At some stage they will. However, That is not ready to happen yet. The universe allowed me to survive after being stabbed, part of my skull removed, shot and fucking stabbed multiple times. The universe allowed me to live. The universe didn't just allow me to live for nothing or cured me so quick. Who else is getting active the way I am after only a couple of months of being out of hospital? The reason why is because the universe has allowed that to happen, because it's got stuff destined for me, stuff that people don't believe in. People who are listening now be thinking, he's lost the plot, because they don't believe. And the reason why they don't believe is because they do not have that mentality. They don't have that mentality where they see what I see. Do you really think people who start revolutions, people really believe in them at the start? No, they don't. They think they're fucking mad. And then when it starts, people start believing. And when people, but that's the best thing. You want that type of mentality. You want people not to believe in you, because then when it happens and then they start believing you, they become the biggest supporters. They become the ones who will be shouting out about corruption at the top of their voice. The ones who don't believe in you, and the moment it happens, they turn around and start believing in you. Do you really think people ever saying about protesting in Africa, people believe me? No, I went and done it. I was jailed for corruption, for bringing down corrupt charities. Do you really think when I said that before I went to Africa, I'm going to go over to Sierra Leone, save thousands of lives? People were like, he's full of shit, and he can't do that. I've done it. I literally done it last year. I've done it. And then like, oh yeah, he did. But then you have the haters who start getting really, because they think, what? Because I proved them wrong. Not that I need to prove them wrong, but their mentality, because their friends and family are probably laughing at them, thinking, you was hating on Sam, and now you're hating on him even more because he's just done exactly what you said he couldn't do, you weirdo. On top of that, do you really think that people are going to believe when I'm saying June this year coming, the movement against corrupt charities is going to start on a different level? When I say I'm going to have thousands, hundreds of thousands of people coming out to slum areas all over Africa from different African countries and having a massive protest on the same day at the same time under the TPR movement. Do you really think that people believe that? No, because they haven't got the mentality that I have. If I have to travel to every third world African country across Africa to make sure that we can arrange and put things in place for mass protest, for the people to come out to their slum areas to mass protest, that is what I've got to do. That is part of pushing a movement forwards, the TPR movement. That is the only way a revolution will really start. There's no other way a revolution can start. There's no other way. A revolution won't start on the basis of me doing a protest. You've seen it before. I was jailed. That's not a revolution. That is not how a revolution starts. I can go and do 5 or 10, I can go and do 100 protests. That's not a revolution. Do you not understand? People don't understand this. A revolution is not just me going and doing protests everywhere. What a revolution is when you can arrange for hundreds of thousands of people to come out to their slum areas and protest, peaceful protest against corrupt charities for allowing their children to die in the slum areas because they're stealing hundreds of millions of pounds, and everyone's live streaming it. You've got thousands of people live streaming at the exact day, the exact time across all these African countries. That is the moment a revolution starts. That is the moment that people will start believing and thinking, this is actually the start of a revolution. That is the moment, but that is the only time a revolution will never start in any other way. A modern day revolution, I've studied revolutions, I've studied them, I've studied exactly how Martin Luther King, all these people, I've studied how they've had revolutions. I know how they have revolutions. The only difference is today, which is better for us, is that there's social media. Social media allows a revolution to spread like wildfire, right? That, and for the people to start believing. Think about it. Imagine when you see hundreds of thousands of people coming out to the slum areas for the first time in their lives. They've been able to feel like they're part of something. The grown men, they've never felt like they're part of anything. For the first time in their life, they're able to come out to a slum area and mass protest. However, the only thing that's going to happen is the authorities in these countries will mass murder countless people during this protest. 100%, it's a peaceful protest, and people say, well, why are you going to get a mass protest made when you know that the authorities will slaughter them? The reason why is because this is what happens during a revolution. What do you want? Do you want these people just to live in their slums and allow their little children to die in their arms while these charities keep stealing their money? Or do they take this moment in it, of the one moment of their lives, this is the moment for them to change their children and their grandchildren's lives by stepping forward and having mass protests against corrupt charities? What if it costs you your life? Then that's the best life, that's the best death you can ever suffer. But if it doesn't cost you your life, then what that means is you're moving forward to the protests, you're continuing with a revolution. That is what you're doing. But they might kill 500 people. 500 people out of 200,000 people is a minimal amount. But what that will do is have mass appeals all over the world where people will be like, why have these people been killed in the slum areas for asking for what's right? They donated money. The donated money from the slums that you pay for. You pay these charities. That's what you do. Think about it. You donate money to these charities to help little children that are starving, little children that are dying in the slum areas because these charities are not helping them. You donate to these charities. These charities keep your money and steal it, and nothing happens. So what are you meant to do? So when people say, why don't I sit at home and why do I go back to Africa? That is why. Because when you believe you can do something and change something, then why shouldn't I? That is what I'm destined for. And people are like, he's lost the plot. I haven't lost the plot. It just takes someone who's a fucking fucked up mad motherfucker to do something what's a little bit different.